But again, welcome. Thank you for joining us here at Sunrise. I am Pastor Chris, if you have not met me yet, and I will be your guide for the rest of the service. But before we get into the word, I wanted to give you just another announcement that many of you have been wondering about. I've been getting regular questions asking me when inline services are going to begin, and I can now tell you that they are going to begin next Sunday, May 31st, which is also Pentecost. But I also want to make sure that you understand online services are going to continue as well. And that was one of the things that we needed to make sure that was taken care of before we could actually say that we were going to be doing in-person services as well. Now, I want you to be on the lookout for more information. I'm not going to spend a ton of time right now explaining what's going to be happening. I know a lot of you are going to have questions, but what I wanted to do is at least give you the 4 pillars that I've been using in helping make the decisions, helping to lead and guide in these decisions, because each and every situation and circumstance for each of the different churches has been different. What is it that they have available? All those kinds of things. Some people already had online in place. We did not. We had to get that working. That kind of stuff, having people and availability, people that are going to be able to come back, people that aren't, and then having to pivot and all of these other kinds of things. But the 4 main pillars that I want to give to you this morning have been helping me make this decision on what these services are going to look like. Because again, many of you are going to wonder, what is that going to look like? And I've already made mention before that there are going to be restrictions in place. But again, what does that look like? So the first pillar I wanted to say is we want to maximize the freedom of the people. Just plain and simple. We want to maximize the freedom, but at the same time, the second thing is we want to minimize risk to folks. So what you're going to see when you get to the sanctuary is we have 22 different zones, 94 different chairs broken up into 22 different zones, so that we're going to help minimize risk. We're going to have other things in place to help minimize touching doorknobs and all that kind of stuff that you're going to see in stations with hand sanitizers and all that kind of stuff. But we want to minimize risk. The third pillar that I wanted to make sure is that we allow adults to be adults, because I know that's one thing that many of you are concerned about, is somehow you're not going to be able to be an adult, or you're going to be treated like a child. And I know different places in the state as well as the country, you have varying different degrees of what is going on. Thankfully, most of the places I've experienced have allowed me to be an adult. And it's like, okay, this is good. I can do this. I can modify things. But you're allowing me to be an adult. I'm having to modify my behavior a little bit, but I'm still allowed to be a responsible adult. But the fourth thing is we want to still continue to respect our governing authorities. Thankfully, we live in a state that has been definitely more moderate to the better side of these things, and so it makes it easier for us in that sense to respect the governing authorities. But again, we want to maximize freedom, we want to minimize risk, we want to allow adults to be adults, and we want to respect the governing authorities. And that is what we're going to be going for as we meet again next week. And again, be on the lookout this week through email, through Facebook, through YouTube for different videos and or emails explaining what it is that you can expect when you come to service next week.